Number 15. The country built beneath the ground. Switzerland is famous for its peaceful landscapes, charming villages, and long-standing neutrality. But hidden beneath this calm exterior is one of the world's most extraordinary civil protection systems. Across the country, there are more than 370,000 public and private shelters, providing roughly 9 million protected spaces, slightly more than Switzerland's current population of about 9 million people. In other words, nearly every resident can access a shelter during a national emergency. This remarkable network began during the Cold War, when concerns over nuclear conflict led the Swiss government to strengthen its civil defense strategy. A federal law introduced in 1963 required many new residential buildings to include a shelter or contribute financially toward building one nearby. As a result, underground shelters became a common feature of everyday life. Today, many of these reinforced spaces are used as storage rooms, wine cellars, laundry areas, or utility rooms, yet they are regularly inspected and can be converted back into emergency shelters if needed. Switzerland's approach has never been about expecting conflict. Instead, it reflects a national philosophy of resilience and preparedness. Number 14. The fountains that give free drinking water. Imagine walking through the center of a beautiful European city on a hot summer day, feeling thirsty, and simply stopping at the nearest fountain for a refreshing drink. In Switzerland, that's not only possible, it's completely normal. Across the country, there are thousands of public fountains, and the vast majority provide fresh, safe drinking water free of charge. Many are supplied directly by natural mountain springs, while others are connected to carefully monitored municipal water systems that meet exceptionally high-quality standards. Unless a fountain is clearly marked with a sign indicating that the water is not safe to drink, both locals and visitors can confidently refill their bottles. These fountains are found almost everywhere, from busy city squares in Zurich, Bern, and Geneva to quiet villages tucked away in the Alps. Some have been flowing continuously for centuries and have become historic landmarks, as well as practical water sources. Switzerland's commitment to protecting its lakes, rivers, and underground aquifers helps ensure that the country's drinking water remains among the cleanest in Europe. Because of this, many Swiss residents rarely buy bottled water, choosing instead to drink straight from the tap or a nearby public fountain. Number 13. Inside the world's longest rail tunnel. Beneath the towering peaks of the Swiss Alps lies one of the greatest engineering achievements of the modern age. The Gotthard Base Tunnel stretches an incredible 57.1 kilometers, or 35.5 miles, making it the longest railway tunnel in the world. After nearly 20 years of construction and decades of planning, the tunnel officially opened in 2016 and has since become one of Europe's most important transportation corridors. At its deepest point, it runs more than 2,300 meters, or about 7,500 feet, below the mountain peaks above, deeper than the height of many of the world's tallest skyscrapers. Designed for both high-speed passenger trains and heavy freight traffic, the tunnel allows passenger trains to cross the Alps in around 20 minutes, while enabling cargo to move quickly and efficiently between northern and southern Europe. By shifting millions of tons of freight from highways to railways each year, the project has helped reduce road congestion, lower carbon emissions, and protect the fragile alpine environment. What makes the experience even more remarkable is how ordinary it feels to travelers. As the train enters one end and exits the other, few passengers realize they have just passed through one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects ever completed. Number 12, a country filled with crystal lakes. Switzerland may be known for its towering Alps, but its lakes are just as extraordinary. Despite being smaller than many U.S. states, the country is home to more than 1,500 natural lakes, creating one of the highest concentrations of freshwater lakes in Europe. From tiny alpine ponds hidden high in the mountains to vast lakes stretching across entire regions, these waterways shape both the country's landscape and its way of life. Among the most famous are Lake Geneva, Lake Zurich, and Lake Lucerne, each offering breathtaking scenery and a unique blend of history, culture, and outdoor activities. Most of these lakes are fed by glaciers, mountain springs, and seasonal snowmelt, giving them remarkably clear water with stunning shades of blue and turquoise. On warm summer days, locals enjoy swimming, sailing, kayaking, paddleboarding, and even commuting by passenger boats across the larger lakes. In some locations, the water is so crystal clear that rocks and fish can be seen several meters beneath the surface. But these lakes are far more than beautiful tourist attractions. They provide drinking water for millions of people, generate renewable hydroelectric power, support diverse wildlife, and play a vital role in Switzerland's economy. Number 11. Europe's highest train station. Visiting this railway station feels less like arriving at a destination and more like stepping into the sky. Sitting at an elevation of 3,454 meters, or 11,332 feet above sea level, Jungfraujoch is home to the highest railway station in Europe, often called the Top of Europe. It attracts visitors from around the world who come to experience breathtaking alpine scenery unlike anywhere else. But the adventure begins long before reaching the summit. The famous Jungfrau Railway climbs steadily through tunnels carved directly into the Eiger and Monch Mountains, offering one of the most spectacular train journeys ever built. The project was considered almost impossible when construction began in 1896. Workers spent 16 years drilling through solid rock before the station finally opened in 1912, becoming one of the greatest engineering achievements of its era. Today, visitors emerge into a world of year-round snow and ice, with panoramic views of the Aletsch Glacier, the longest glacier in the Alps, and part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On clear days, the surrounding mountain peaks seem to stretch endlessly across the horizon. Despite its remote location and thin mountain air, Jungfraujoch welcomes well over 1 million visitors each year. Number 10. One country, 4 official languages. Cross a regional border in Switzerland, and you may feel as if you've entered an entirely different country. Despite covering only about 41,000 square kilometers, Switzerland recognizes 4 official national languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. German is the most widely spoken, used by around 62% of the population, while French accounts for about 23%, Italian for roughly 8%, and Romansh, an ancient Romance language, is spoken by less than 1%. Road signs, government documents, and even train announcements often change depending on the region you're visiting. In many schools, children learn more than one national language in addition to English, making multilingualism a normal part of everyday life. Rather than dividing the country, this remarkable linguistic diversity has become one of Switzerland's greatest strengths, reflecting centuries of history and cultural influence from neighboring nations. It's one of the few places in the world where traveling just a couple of hours can bring you into a completely different language and cultural tradition, without ever crossing an international border. Number 9. Trains so punctual, seconds matter. In Switzerland, public transportation is so reliable that many people joke you could set your watch by the trains. Far from being an exaggeration, the country's railway network is consistently ranked among the most punctual and efficient in the world. In recent years, Swiss Federal Railways, known as SBB, has regularly reported punctuality rates of around 90% or higher, with most trains arriving within just a few minutes of their scheduled time. For many Swiss commuters, even a delay of 3 or 4 minutes is considered unusual. The secret isn't simply high-speed trains, it's an entire transportation system designed to work as one perfectly coordinated network. Trains, buses, trams, cable cars, and even passenger boats are carefully synchronized so travelers can transfer between them with minimal waiting time. Every day, well over 1 million passengers depend on this system for work, school, and leisure, making public transportation an essential part of daily life. Because the network is so dependable, many residents choose trains over driving, even when they own a car. Whether traveling between major cities like Zurich and Geneva, or reaching remote mountain villages, passengers can expect smooth and reliable connections almost every step of the way. Number 8. The world's most expensive everyday life. A vacation in Switzerland can be unforgettable, but it can also leave your wallet feeling much lighter than expected. The country consistently ranks among the most expensive places to live and travel, and many visitors experience sticker shock almost immediately. In major cities like Zurich and Geneva, a simple cup of coffee often costs between $6 and $8, while an ordinary restaurant meal can easily exceed $25 per person. Groceries, hotel rooms, public parking, and even everyday necessities are generally more expensive than in most neighboring European countries. International price surveys also regularly rank Switzerland among the world's most costly places to buy a Big Mac, making it a popular symbol of the country's high cost of living. However, those impressive prices tell only half the story. Switzerland also offers some of the highest average salaries in the world, supported by a strong economy, low unemployment, and a stable financial system. Residents benefit from outstanding infrastructure, efficient public transportation, excellent health care, and exceptionally clean and safe communities. Number 7. Neutral but always ready. Switzerland has remained officially neutral for more than 2 centuries, yet it has never ignored the importance of national defense. Instead of maintaining an enormous full-time military, the country relies on a militia system in which most able-bodied Swiss men complete military training and remain part of the reserve for years afterward. Women can also choose to serve voluntarily. This approach allows Switzerland to maintain a relatively small active force while having access to a much larger pool of trained personnel if needed. Regular refresher training helps reservists keep their skills up to date throughout their service. Combined with the country's extensive civil protection network and emergency planning, this system reflects a long-standing philosophy of preparedness rather than aggression. Switzerland's military has not fought in a foreign war for generations, and its policy of neutrality remains one of the cornerstones of its national identity. For many Swiss citizens, being prepared is simply another part of protecting the country's independence and stability. Number 6. The wine the world rarely tastes. When people think of Switzerland, chocolate, and cheese usually steal the spotlight. But few realize the country also produces exceptional wine that rarely leaves its borders. Switzerland cultivates vineyards across regions such as Valais, Vaud, and Ticino, where the alpine climate creates ideal conditions for growing high-quality grapes. Yet only about 1% of Swiss wine production is exported. The remaining bottles are enjoyed almost entirely within the country, making Swiss wine one of Europe's best-kept secrets. Local grape varieties like Chasselas and Petit Arvin are especially prized by wine enthusiasts, but remain difficult to find abroad. Small family-owned wineries, limited production, and strong domestic demand all contribute to its rarity. As a result, many international visitors are surprised to discover that one of Switzerland's finest culinary experiences is something they can hardly buy once they return home. It's a reminder that some of the country's greatest treasures aren't hidden in museums or mountains. They're poured into a glass and shared close to where they're made. Number 5. The nation obsessed with chocolate. Chocolate isn't just a famous Swiss souvenir. It's part of the country's identity. Switzerland has long ranked among the world's top consumers of chocolate, with the average person eating around 10 kilograms, or more than 20 pounds, each year. The country's reputation was built on innovation as much as flavor. In 1875, Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter created the first successful milk chocolate by combining chocolate with condensed milk developed by Henri Nestlé, forever changing the chocolate industry. Today, Switzerland is home to some of the world's most recognizable chocolate makers, and visitors can tour factories, museums, and artisan workshops dedicated to the craft. Despite growing competition from around the world, Swiss chocolate continues to symbolize premium quality thanks to strict production standards and generations of expertise. For many locals, enjoying a piece of chocolate isn't reserved for special occasions. It's simply part of everyday life. In Switzerland, chocolate is far more than a sweet treat. It's a tradition that has shaped the country's global reputation for over a century. Number 4. The birthplace of the World Wide Web. Long before smartphones and social media connected billions of people, one groundbreaking invention quietly began in Switzerland. In 1989, British computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee, working at CERN near Geneva, proposed a new system for sharing information between researchers. That idea eventually became the World Wide Web, transforming the internet from a tool used by specialists into something accessible to people around the globe. It's important to note that CERN did not invent the internet itself. The internet already existed. What was created at CERN was the World Wide Web, the system of web pages and hyperlinks that made online information easy to navigate. In 1993, CERN made the web available to everyone without charging licensing fees, allowing it to spread rapidly across the world. Today, billions of websites trace their origins back to that decision. It's remarkable to think that one of the greatest technological revolutions in human history began inside a research laboratory nestled between the Swiss mountains. Number 3. One of the world's only square flags. Take a look at the flags of almost every country, and you'll notice they all share one thing in common. They're rectangular. Switzerland is one of the very few exceptions. Its national flag is a perfect square, featuring a bold white cross centered on a bright red background. This distinctive design dates back centuries, and has become one of the most recognizable national symbols in the world. The White Cross represents Switzerland's long history, unity, and humanitarian values. In fact, the emblem of the International Committee of the Red Cross was inspired by the Swiss flag, using the same design with the colors reversed to honor the organization's origins in Geneva. Although Swiss ships use a rectangular version of the flag for practical reasons under international maritime rules, the square flag remains the country's official national flag. It's a small detail that many travelers never notice, yet it perfectly reflects Switzerland's willingness to preserve its unique traditions, even when almost every other nation follows a different standard. Number 2. Citizens vote on almost everything. In many countries, people vote only during national elections every few years. In Switzerland, democracy is part of everyday life. Swiss citizens regularly take part in nationwide, cantonal, and local referendums, often casting ballots several times each year on issues that directly affect their communities and the country. Through a system known as direct democracy, voters can approve or reject new laws, and in some cases, even propose changes to the Swiss constitution by collecting enough valid signatures. This gives ordinary citizens an unusually strong voice in shaping public policy. Ballots have covered a wide range of topics, from transportation and healthcare to environmental protection and taxation. While the process can be slow and requires active public participation, many Swiss see it as one of the greatest strengths of their political system. Rather than leaving every major decision solely to elected officials, Switzerland places a remarkable level of trust in its citizens, making it one of the world's best-known examples of direct democracy in action. Number 1. Why millions dream of living here. Year after year, Switzerland ranks among the world's best places to live, and it's easy to understand why. The country combines breathtaking natural scenery with a strong economy, low crime rates, excellent healthcare, and a highly regarded education system. Cities such as Zurich and Geneva frequently appear near the top of international quality of life rankings, praised for their safety, clean streets, reliable public services, and efficient transportation. Switzerland also has one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world, reflecting its stable economy and high standard of living. Beyond the numbers, many people are drawn to the country's balance between work and personal life. On weekends, it's common for residents to swap busy city streets for hiking trails, crystal-clear lakes, or snow-covered mountains, all within a short journey from home. Of course, living here comes with a high cost, but for many Swiss residents, the exceptional public services, environmental quality, and everyday sense of security make it a worthwhile trade-off. In Switzerland, a high quality of life isn't just a goal, it's part of daily reality. Switzerland is full of surprises, proving that some of the world's most fascinating places reveal their secrets only when you look beyond the postcards. Which fact amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends who love travel and discovering extraordinary places. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next journey.